Well, when I was also taking the break, I also within like the last year and a half or so I became very ill. Um, I had a couple episodes where I like was fainting and I lost like mad weight. I'm still, I'm like actually getting better now, but I went through a really really hard time where, uh, and in the process of soul searching and trying to find myself, I got caught up too with the stress of like life. You know what I mean? Because it's like I felt like, when it rains, it pours. I felt like I was in a hurricane. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't get out. It was just more like everything kept pouring on me. Everything kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I told myself, 2009 is going to be 2000 mine. You know what I mean? 2000 mine, 2000 mine, And it was, but it was through someone else. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I say that I've been very fortunate. I have been fortunate. I've met someone who's like amazing. And like for the last year, Joshua Peck has been my rock. Like I've never met anyone like him, like never. And I think it's almost, because like I said, you have to go through certain things in life in order to progress, I guess. And for whatever reason, I know that what happened to me happened for a reason because I met someone who totally understands me sometimes. But when I was sick, he was the one that was there, like a lot of my friends or a lot of my fans obviously don't know this. I'm still trying to find out like what exactly is wrong with me. But when I was having fainting spells and then I was having like seizures and they thought I had like MS and I was going through like a really difficult time. I fell into like a really really bad place. It's almost like um, you don't even realize it, like you sit here and you watch TV and you see all these artists and you say, I'm never going to be like them, I'm never going to be that person. And I totally was, like I turned into like this hopeless, like person. And if it wasn't for Josh, like I don't even know where I would be right now. I'm not sitting here saying that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. But if it wasn't for his strength, I wouldn't be as strong as I am now because I was doing good, you know what I mean? And I got into a car accident and then I got sicker and he was my encouragement, you know what I mean? Like he was the one that helped me, like I was digging myself to the point where I was just like, that's it, I'm done, like I don't care anymore. Like I don't want to work on music. I don't want to do anything anymore. I just like whatever, I was so sick of it, I pretty much like gave up. And that's not me. So, I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very blessed this year. Very blessed. And I do want to take this time to obviously, like thank a lot of artists that I've met and, you know, um, just people who have welcomed me in their life, like just cause for no reason, like Tech, who's my producer now, I met him and I went to the studio, with
I
my
was so
boyfriend.
worried about you crying. I think I'm gonna cry.
Hey man, it's real. It's gotta be real. If it's not real, then it's how did you say, rehearsed and I thought at first I'm like I'm gonna write everything down. I'm gonna have it in my head and what I'm gonna say and when you're sitting here, it's just kind of like blank, and that's good because I want to be a blank canvas, and I need to repaint, I need to paint my life over again. And that's what I'm doing. And I need the help of my fans again, you know what I mean? Because if I don't have their support, then, you know, I'm still going to do it, you know what I mean? But I definitely need that support, you know what I mean? That encouragement. And I have it. But like I said, like I neglected my fans. And I hope that they really do sincerely believe me that it wasn't because I wanted to like disappear. It was just that I was going through a really hard time in my life and I did need to do that soul searching.
How important is it to disappear though? If someone needs to take time out for them,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to take care of you before you can take care of somebody else.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times with recording artists, they are taking care of other people. me as a fan, we depend on your music to get through. There's times where I got to put on a track I can get through my day.
Yeah.
We need you to be able to go on. But at the
Right.
same time, if you don't take care of you, how are we going to be taken care of?
Right.
You have to take care of you first.
Right.
So they really got to understand that if you got to disappear, you got to disappear.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's more or less like, it's, to thank them too, and just for myself, because I need to apologize. I need to, get that
Right.
out because I did, I pretty much just kind of like blink. I just disappeared. I got offline. I didn't contact anyone. I just kind of disappeared, and it wasn't intentional at all. It was just more like, holy shit, dude, it's time to wake up and realize like who the fuck am I? Like I was just performing and doing what I love to do, but it wasn't really me. It was, but it wasn't fully me. It wasn't the full potential that I know that I have. And it's time. Like, it's definitely time to just release all of that. So, and that's where I want to apologize to Josh too, because I know that he would be upset for me to sit here and be apologizing about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a burden, like he says, but I'm a very independent woman, and to feel like hopeless and helpless and lonely when you have such an amazing person who loves you and wants to take care of you, when you're ill and they don't have to. So,
Oh,
yeah, it's
I'm happy
awesome.
for you. I'm happy that you're back. I'm excited to see what you're going to bring.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at Rihanna was very safe, and then she went very edgy.
Oh, yeah.
Christina Aguilera was very safe,
Yeah, a good
and
girl goes bad, turns bad,
yeah,
and, that's not necessarily going to be me, even if I wanted to. Uh, I was a very angry person, before, but I let go of all
really
that. Oh, yeah. I mean, back in the day, when you met me, I was just like, you know,
cool.
full life and cool, chilling, like I had no worry in the world, but,
Why were you angry back in the day?
um, well, when I was younger, I was very angry, obviously, well, not obviously because you don't know and my fans don't know either. I moved out of my parents' house when I was really, really young, so
How old were you?
I was 16. So I lived with my aunt for a little bit, and then I moved in with a roommate, and it was just constant struggle and hustling and hustling and hustling and working and working and working. So it's like I've never had the chance to really focus on me. So that's why I had so much anger, because it was like it wasn't fair. It was like, why is this happening to me? Like touchy subject again. It's all about family.
I'm
Like
gonna go there with you though.
I'm fine. It's all good. I'm not gonna break.